Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Funkoverse unboxing for Back to the Future. I should have started off saying, hey everyone, welcome back to the future to another video. I dropped my pun. So, you want to know more about how to play, check out my how to play video where I go through the instruction books. Otherwise, we're going to jump in and just look at what is available here. So, of course, we're going to get our two primary characters. We're going to have Doc Brown and Marty Mcfly. They come with their bases, the black and white one, and that's just to separate the teams. Lots of times it's like good character versus bad character, but they're both good guys. They're just going to have a friendly competition in this game. We're going to get our two cooldown tracks. So, here's something we're going to notice right off the bat that is different, and we'll get to this, point this out. So we have Doc Brown's cooldown track versus a regular one. So his has 4 through 1, 1 through 4. So he has an interesting different mechanic that works with that. But I said we'll get to that when we actually get into him. So we have our 6 dice with our 3 different sides. Challenge side, defense side, and crit side. We get our 4 exhausted tokens, 1 for each Funko Pop, plus 1 for each of our generic characters, which we have a town person and a dinner patron. We're going to get our leader token, or our first player token. I keep calling it a leader token. Our 4 point markers, which have letters on the back to indicate where they go. I guess it doesn't matter really which one's A, B, C, or D, but I think just to help people out, we have our challenge squares. We have our star for rivals and leaders, and our flags for flag mode. So there's all of our generic tokens. We, of course, are going to get some nice bright orange points tokens. And then we're going to have our skill tokens. And we're going to get 2 blues, a gray, and a yellow. So no aggression from these guys. Some smarts, some agility, a little bit of leadership. Alright, we're going to slide all these guys out of the way. We're going to slide our 2 leading men out of the way, and we're going to look at our map. Alright. So we're going to start with our smaller of the 2 maps. So our first map is the diner. Cafe's 80. So this is supposed to be when they go back in time to the 80s. Or is it the future? It's the future cafe that looks like the 80s, I believe. Crap, I haven't seen this movie in forever, so now I'm forgetting which way it was. It has to be the future one. They try and look like the 80s. But yeah, so we're going to look at what we can do in there. So we have a control mode. So one player starts here, one starts there. We have 3 different control areas. And as you can see on this map here, it's very symmetrical with each other. Little blocks here, big block there. Other than that, it's actually open. Like, you can walk to here, walk around. You just gotta dodge some 3 little things. There's some stuff blocking, like in the corners and back here on the sign, but that's bordering terrain. Alright, and then the other one we have is territory. So you have a little bit different starting areas, just different angles. And then we have the score area hiding in the middle. But not really anything blocking you from getting there. You just walk this way or walk this way. So that's kind of neat. You know, then these tokens are way over on the side. Alright, let's take a look at this map. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of movie references on here or not. There probably are that I'm going to miss. I apologize. So there's some of the different plates and stuff. They're exercise bites with TV trays. That's funny. So like sushi. Priceless artifacts do not touch. Oh, it's old school, like, video game, probably. You know, that's neat. And then in the back we have like, yeah, manufacturing the burgers and the drinks. Yes, this is definitely the future. Wild West shooter. Different like art faces of different people back there, some guitars. Alright. Alright, so that's what we got for that. Let's flip her over to the other side. Here we have... Oh, I just knocked Marty over. We have the courthouse square. So let me rotate this around, actually, and we can see the courthouse itself. Ugh. Alright, so again, this is like one of the earlier maps of the game, of the Funkoverse, so they tried to make everything very symmetrical, so if you're playing, you can split this down the half, or whichever half, and everything's kind of the same either way. So you have a car here, car there, we have the Delorean hidden under a tarp by a tree here, but then you have a car parked over here, you have the clock tower down there, or courthouse, and then you have a big truck down here on this side. So kind of keep everything sort of the same. And we'll take a little bit closer at some of them details in a moment. But we have flags. So you're going to start one corner or the other. Trying to play capture the flag. You know, fairly open areas to get through. Lines of sight are pretty open. There is one blocking terrain right in the middle there. The statue. That's kind of fun. And then the other one's your leaders. So you start in the opposite corners with your leader here and there, trying to take out the highest level characters for more points. Alright, so let's look at this a little bit closer. We're going to do half and half, I think. So, I don't know, again, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of extra details, but there's a political car. Big red truck. There's a hidden car there. I don't remember if that was part of the movie or if that's just there for the sake of being there. Police car. Memorial. There's the courthouse. And there's the Delorean hiding underneath, kind of hiding under a tarp. Would have been almost here if the Delorean would have been like straight out in the open. But I get it. Alright, now let's see what our time traveling duo can do. So first up we have our generics. We have the dinner patron and the townsperson. Let's look at what Marty can do first. The good old Marty Mcfly here. Calvin Klein. He's got his special sneakers on. It's cool. Cool little touch there. So yes, nobody calls me a chicken. If Marty is standing after a challenge against him from an adjacent rival is resolved, Marty may do a basic action. Ooh, so if he doesn't get knocked down, he gets to retaliate. Rock and roll, range 3, challenge 2, move 1. It's a lot of stuff. Fix the timeline. Place Marty on the nearest square that contains a point marker. Oh, that's just abusive. And then this is heavy. Move 1. Choose up to 2 ability tokens or items on your cooldown track. Shift them down 2. Nice. So you can use fix the timeline. Then next turn you can use this as heavy just to shift it down. Nice. That's actually cool. And then he's going to get... So this is actually kind of a double neat one. So he's got a hoverboard here. But as opposed to going in his hand, like every other item usually does, he gets to ride it. And then it actually has a hole on the bottom, so you can put your base back on there. And I like that because I wish there was more, like through all these sets, I wish there was a little bit more creativity with some of the weapons or items or something like that. I get every set generally only gets one item. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool if someone else had like a different item that they could ride or stand on. I don't know what they would be for what, but that'd be kind of cool. So let's see what his hoverboard does for him. Because it does work with his one ability that moves his items down. So when doing an action that includes a move, you may move one extra square. If you do, place a hoverboard on one on your cooldown track. So if Marty is using this, he uses rock and roll, he can now move 2. If he uses this as heavy, he can also move 2. Plus, if he uses this as heavy, he can shift them up to 2 abilities and shift them down 2. So he can basically get his board back right away. So it's definitely cool. Cool interaction. I mean, you can use it with other characters as well. And then let's look at good old Doc Brown. See, here's a briefcase. That would have been cool. Or I know my wife would wish if they made ones for like Back to the Future 3 where he's in his cowboy outfit. That would also be pretty cool. Alright, so we have Delorean. During setup, take Doc Brown's cooldown track. If Doc is standing, when he becomes exhausted, you may flip your cooldown track. You may not use this ability on the first turn. So, what that means. Alright, so we're going to zoom out here. So, he has 4, 3, 2, 1. So it says, during setup, so if Doc is standing when he becomes exhausted. So if he's not knocked down, you may flip your cooldown track. So what this basically means is if I currently have something on, he has a 3 ability, 88. So if I have it on 3, I can choose to turn it over. Now he's on 2, so he only has to go down to 1. The same idea is if somebody put my thing, somehow moved it up to 4, I could flip this over, and then now my next turn can come off. So you can kind of manipulate that. So 2s and 3s aren't too bad, but 1s and 4s. But you also gotta remember though, if I have something on 1 and I do that, it's gonna put it back up to 4. So if I have two tokens on there, I gotta like decide which one is worse to get or which one's not. Alright, let's see what his other abilities are though. Do 88 miles per hour. Move up to 4 squares in a straight line. This action may move Doc through rivals limited once per turn. 1.21 gigawatts. Do a challenge of 3 to each adjacent rival. He's just gonna smack him with that briefcase. And then Great Scott. Choose up to 2 tokens, items, or characters on your cooldown track. Shift them down 1 and everything else up 1. So that is definitely neat for the way his ability works. So up to 2 things, items on anything you have on here. So again, if you found something, so what you could basically do is if you have one thing on 3 and one thing on 2, you could do is shift the 2 down 1, and then you could shift the 3 up 1, and then you could, shift this one down 2, shift 2 tokens, up to 2 tokens, down 1. So you can shift one of them down to 1 or whatever. If you had 1 here on 1, shift it off, shift the 3 up to 4, then flip it over and it would be ready to go. Yeah, so a little bit of manipulation. You have to kind of plan it. But you can definitely use that as a way to get your abilities out quicker. Plus, if you were using the hoverboard with him, which you definitely could, then his 88 miles an hour one, he could go up to 6 spaces. And you could put it on the track. That'd be actually cool, too. Alright, so that's what we got for our Funkoverse Back to the Future. Interesting character mechanics and item mechanics. Nothing really terribly special about the boards, as far as I'm concerned. But again, earlier games, they're trying to keep everything the same, so if you bought one, you could play it the next one really easily. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.